Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's get right to the daily SPY. And again, holiday week, guys, nothing going on. 42 million on the day. Slight bearish pattern, still bullish above the MAs. Nothing wrong. Went into resistance up in here, did pull back. Chopping around though, you got to be aware of that pattern there. But macro bull, micro bear, above the MAs, nothing wrong. Weekly charts, we're not going to look at that right now. So look at those towards the end of the week or maybe Friday. So daily IWM, again, nothing wrong above the MAs, just like the SPY. You do have a trend line up here that you got to watch out for. If you're long, you need to get above these trend lines, then possibly shoot for the 140 and then some after that. You know, who knows, 150 maybe, who knows. And if it doesn't get up above these trend lines, then you're looking for it to get below the 20, these pivots here, and then possibly, you know, maybe fill the gap, maybe come down here, try to fill this gap in the 50 MA. Again, nothing wrong, just wait for pattern. Let's see what this thing's going to do, if it's going to move up on the bullish pattern or it's going to move down and then get below the 20 in the pivots and then go from there. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Next couple days, we'll see at the end of the week. Again, light volume holiday stuff, so I wouldn't expect too much in these markets, to be honest. So go spend some time with your family, hang out at the house, take some time off, and just enjoy life. So and the holidays and the new year coming up and everything else. So. All right, daily chart of the Qs or the NASDAQ. Yeah, you know, this was interesting. It went for the all-time high, made it intraday, 121.52, came right back in. We did hit this trend line as well as double top over here, came right back down, and let's see what happens. Nothing wrong again, above the MAs like the other indexes, bullish stance. Bullish pattern, so let's just wait and see what happens. If you are long, you need to get above the 122, 1 to 125, then I'd start tightening that stop up. If you're short and starts getting up there, just hang on for dear life. You want to see it stay in this area and then possibly get below the 20 and the 50, and then you could possibly see lower prices. You do have a trend line support here, a lot of support coming up here as well. If it goes through that, then you're probably going to go down to the 200 MA. Again, if you're long, you need to get above this trend line and start, you know, rocking and rolling. And I'd like to see a little more volume than this, but the holiday week we're going to have nothing. DIA or the Dow trying to get that 20,000 magic number. I think they got everybody in, guys. This thing's all puttering out, but let's see. I mean, we still have a couple days left of the light volume holiday crap, so let's see if they push this up. They got to do it. I would think if it doesn't make it, it'll be funny. Then I'll be like, oh, I never made it. Oh man. And then we'll come back in, you know, then it will bounce back up and go for it again. You know, we'll see. It's like a soap opera. The drama, Dow 20,000. It's the soap opera of Wall Street, basically. So, you know, CNBC and, you know, that's what, you know, that's the way I'm looking at it lately. It's a soap opera. So the Dow, nothing wrong. Above the MAs like all the other charts. Nothing crazy. Same stuff, light volume. IYT or the transports, again, you know, a little bit weaker, still nothing wrong. We did close below the 20 MA, so it's slightly a little bit more on the bearish side. We are above the other moving averages. We did have an inside bar bullish pattern, so let's see if we start popping up or do we stay below the 20 and does it set up for lower prices. Right now the pattern's a little bit early. If the markets stay buoyant, I wouldn't doubt this thing pops back up and maybe makes a run for the highs, but we'll see. You know, they've had a pretty good run here. Then the last pop, was that it right there? Maybe. We'll see how this thing sets up. Again, light volume week, anything's possible. Weekly charts, we're going to look at more on Friday. From that, USO, same thing, daily chart. Nothing wrong above the MAs, strong stance. Still need to get above the 11.79, then the $12 area up in here. 11.94 was the last high pivot, so needs to get above that, above this line. Then I wouldn't rule out, you know, I think we have an area around 12.50 or so. Let's pull up the weekly on this one really quick. Weekly's nothing wrong with this one either. But then you have your high pivot here, yeah, right around 1241, 1247, something like that, and then the gap fill, and then you have another pivot right here, right around 1321. So I wouldn't rule that out. let's see how this one works itself out. Let's see if the dollar starts moving up or down, or which way it starts to go. I think the dollar starts moving up more. This is going to put a little more pressure on the USO. UUP. Nothing wrong with this. A penny down, still consolidating. Weekly chart. I wish it would have went sideways a little bit longer than the pop, but little early on this one there. But if you look at the daily chart, nothing wrong. Great pattern above the MA. It's just like the SPY and everything else. Above the MA, setting up in a pretty nice. If this is a little bit high, if this would have been down in this area, that would have been a real nice bullish pattern. But nothing wrong. 2683. 27.21, and then 28.93. I still think we get to the 28.50 area up in here. If it does start moving into the 29 area, you can start shorting this thing up here. Don't go nuts. So it still could go a little bit higher, but this is going to be some great resistance up in here. So, and that goes back for a little while ago. So nothing wrong with the UUP. Let's see if that goes higher. If this goes higher, then that should put pressure on gold and oil as well. But again, we'll see. This has been moving up, and oil's been moving up with it, and dollar or gold's going down. So it's a little bit disconnected. Central bankers, make it a little obvious. Dollar chart on the GLD, still bearish. Now this one's below the MAs, not like the SPY and everything else where it's above the MAs. So since it's below, it's more in a weaker stance. And then you have the bearish pattern here too. The only way if this thing starts moving up, it needs to get above the 20 MA, above this breakdown area around 111, then maybe higher prices. You have a gap fill here, you have a window here. So a lot of resistance in this area going up. And then if you start heading down, you got the 105 area, 101.49, and ultimately the 100 even number. So this one can damn well start breaking down and go right down to here. So just keep an eye on that. And if it does, I think the last time I'm going to try to wait for right around the 100, 101.49 for my last. I probably won't even do a 10% position. I'll probably move it up to maybe 7.5. So, but we'll see how this thing goes. Yeah, I just don't want. We'll see. I still think this could possibly go lower just by the setup, but if it starts to move up, then you're probably going to get, it's probably just going to rip and maybe go back into this trend line up in here. So just be aware. All right, one more thing, guys. If you stuck around through gold, new people watching the videos, I want to go over this stuff with you. For the people that have been following me and I've been going, or they've been watching my videos for the last month or two, I've been showing this as well. The reason why we're going short in these markets because we're at the top here. If this is a top, markets keep moving up, stocks keep moving up, and seems like this thing's never going to end. But this is a lot of the times when this thing's moving up. You go up 10 months, 11 months, 12 months for a year, you're due for a nice pullback, and that's just the way these markets work. And lately I've been showing these things, .com bubble, housing bubble, and now we're way the heck up here bubble. And this is the central bankers with all the QE, all the stimulus, the Operation Twist, the POMO program for years. Everything they're doing. They're buying bonds. They're doing everything they shouldn't be doing. But how else do you get a stock market up here in the euphoria and everything's going, Dow 20,000 unless you have that done, especially these days. So don't expect these markets to go up forever, but this is one of the reasons why we're adding shorts, because until we get above this upper trend line, then we got to rethink our strategy at this point. But we pull back, I'll be going long, especially if we get a nice pullback from up here, it goes down to a great support. We'll look at that level for a small bounce and then possibly for more downside. But I'm still expecting if the markets really start to rumble. With Trump in there, it's more of a wild card. I can't rule out, 155, 59 area down in here. And also you have the 200 MA too. Stocks love to revisit areas, just throwing it out there, guys. Not that it's going to happen, but you always got to look at, if this thing doesn't get through these areas and you're long, then what's the next area where it could possibly just go click and this 10 months up and you might get one candle down to here. So that's how the short side works. So if you're long and you caught this move from from buying it down here, buying the dip, think about taking profits, guys. This stuff, and if it pulls back, then buy. If it pulls back $10 and buy it again. If you have to be long these markets. But for us, we're short-term traders. We want to get in, get out, get a profit. And in the meantime, we have a bunch of positions on, and as they're coming in, we're selling half, taking them off, selling half, taking them off. We might sell half, put it on again, and do it again. It depends on the setup. So, all right, guys. Thanks for stopping by, watching my video. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe to me on my YouTube channel at StockBookie. You can follow me at Twitter. Those are a lot of my swing trades are on there. And then StockTwit's more on the intraday action for scalping. And sometimes we hold a trade for a couple weeks or a couple days or or what have you, depending on the situation. But follow me on all those channels. That's where most of my stuff is. And hopefully I put you guys in some good positions to make some money. So shorts are coming in a little bit here and there. Nothing crazy. We get a couple good down days. A lot of these shorts are going to come in because a lot of them are high flyers. So expect them. Watch a couple of these. I think I have about 75 positions on Twitter out there, mostly short or all of them short except for one long on the SCO. We are long that one, which is a short oil. So, but as they're coming in, guys, we're pulling them off. That's all we could do at this point. Some are in the money, some are a little bit out of the money, but nothing too crazy. Nvidia, we're getting our butt kicked. Goldman, JPM, 10% position, so it's not that dramatic, but it hurts, guys. But in the meantime, we're covering the shorts. We're doing some intraday action. We're making money that way, and we're going to be married to a couple of these a little bit longer. So, all right, guys, have a great evening. Thanks again for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.